Hey guys, how's it going? Preparing here. Today I'm going to talk about Diablo 3, and I'm going to do that because recently there's been a Korean leak on the rarity of legendaries, and I thought I'd weigh in my opinion because, hey, it kind of proves a few things that I realized pretty early on with Diablo 3. Now, before we get started, I did play Diablo 3 longer than my YouTube, led some to believe. I did go back, and when I had my computer built and when I realized my friends were still playing, I took it upon myself to try again, and hey, it was reasonable amount of fun. But it's kind of like watching a movie. You gotta be comfortable, things gotta be cool, and eventually you'll get bored if you watch too many of them or if you play too much Diablo 3. That's kind of the feeling that I got. It's a pretty cool game, maybe when ladders come out, maybe there's when some kind of competition is introduced, it's great. But for the time being, the most fun thing in Diablo 3 was when a legendary item dropped and it changed your character and you're like, oh man, this is kind of the concept that Blizzard tried to push with the game. But with the recent information about the percentages and the drops, people have kind of shown their pessimism. And this is a bit in contrast to when you anticipate Diablo 3, the expansion comes out, it's new, everyone's playing it, all your friends are playing it, you're hyped, you have this certain sense of optimism of, I'm going to make finally, the perfect character. I'm going to get all the best items are going to drop for me this time, oh man, the earthquake set, oh wow, you put an earthquake when you leap. Whoa, this is so cool. I want to get that set. And this level of optimism doesn't really meet reality because you're in an unknown area. You just play and you hope to get it, and those that do good, those that don't, well, maybe you got unlucky. But when the numbers reveal themselves, when you realize that a certain piece of gear that you want is, 10 times rarer than another part, which, you haven't even seen, then there's a certain level of pessimism that kicks in. It's like, oh man, do I really want to keep farming until I get this piece of gear? Do I really want to keep farming until I make my character this way? And all this, in my opinion, is okay, because in Diablo 3 there isn't that much content. But the way that some people see it is they're a bit depressed that they can't exactly make the characters that they want or the characters that they see on streams or they read about on forums and all that. And for them, yeah, it's a bit depressing. And the comparison I really want to make is when a game has, a real goal, something that you're competing to other players with, and it can be, I dare to say, even as simple as trading. And it's not exactly fair to compare it, to the previous version of Diablo 3 when there was a real money auction and all that stuff, because it's not exactly trading, that's like selling. But there's nothing that really distinguishes your character from another except from, how lucky you really are to get these drops, and you have to really play, you have to really put effort to get them, and then you have a character that's, a little bit more special than your friends, a little bit better than your friends, but in the end, you're still farming about the same monster, you're still doing that, and, there's no ladder, there's no, like, super hard boss they need to kill, the torment difficulty, it's mostly for fun on the higher end because it's not efficient. And you can't really trade, so even if you have like the best pair of shoulders in the game, and you get a second pair of the rarest ones, and oh man, and they're just a little bit worse than the ones that you have, well, that goes to the salvage bin. So it doesn't really balance it out. It just keeps people hooked on their optimism, and people really need to see this stuff, because if you're playing Diablo 3 to have a specific type of character and just to prove that you're better than everyone else or whatever, I think you're playing the wrong game. If you like Diablo 3, good, but I hope that some of you have realized that it's just a game you play for kicks, and you shouldn't have much expectations. If you don't get the gear you want, well, you have to make do. If you get DC'd and your character dies, oh well. This type of stuff comes along with a lot of games, but in Diablo 3, with little to none, comparison between characters, and with little to none competition between them, as of yet, just play for the fun. And you just gotta forget about optimism, forget about pessimism, and just think of it as hanging out with your friends. That's the best way to play the game, and I hope you guys see it that way as well. Anyway, I'm probably not going to play Diablo 3 at least until ladders are released, and then, I'll take another look. But it's nice to see these things. It's nice to see feedback when information comes out because, you get to really see how people think and how the game is designed. And that's some really interesting stuff. Hope you guys agree, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.